Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Ryan Nordahl here, Epic Whitetail Habitat LLC. Today, we're talking frost seeding. So when it comes to frost seeding, I think many of us overthink it. We think that things have to be in place and it all has to be like textbook exactly done. And frost seeding, I think we have overcomplicated it, but it's a very simple process. What is frost seeding? Well, frost seeding, you're waiting to frost seed clovers, chicory, alfalfa, all in combination, switchgrass, if we're establishing a switchgrass area of any type. And it's not really that complicated. We're waiting for those freeze-thaw cycles. This time of year, we're now at the beginning of March. Some guys have been doing it, that latter part of February, and it is a great time. Looking at the near forecast, we've got some really warm weather coming, but if you look at the extended forecast here, now I'm here in Wisconsin, so I'm in the upper Midwest, and your frost seeding window where you are, if you're further south than here, if you think it's over with, it might be, but you can still overseed, waiting for that rain ahead of time, ahead of your actual seeding, where you're out broadcasting these small seeds: clover, chicory, alfalfa, switchgrass. Again, if you're establishing a switchgrass area for bedding cover, anything like that, you haven't missed your window. I think there's plenty of opportunity here looking at the extended, that 10-day forecast and beyond, the next 30 days or so. There's quite a few here in the upper Midwest of those freeze-thaw cycles if you look out there. And I don't think I have to wait until the very last freeze-thaw cycle, because when we're dealing with clover, chicory, and alfalfa, those seeds are going to stay hard, meaning they're not really going to rot in the soil profile whatsoever. In these freeze thaw events, basically what it is, frost seeding, you're getting clover, chicory, alfalfa, switchgrass, you're getting it on the ground in a prepared area ahead of time, meaning going out, blowing the leaves off. That's step one. Getting any ground debris cleared off of the area. I have a lot of little in woods kill plots around some strategic stands, and unfortunately we have to deal with leaf matter, and I want those areas cleaned off because I want to achieve the maximum seed to soil contact that I possibly can when I'm frost seeding, and then allowing Mother Nature with her freeze thaw events to pull that seed down into the soil with the expansion and contraction of the soil in those freeze thaw cycles. And so it's a great, easy way to establish these types of crops, these perennial crops. Even some, the annual clovers that are out there. I deal a lot with Domain Outdoor, and they just come out with a new product. It's an annual clover mix, and you can also do it with that as well. But establishing these perennial plots with their clovers, chicories, and switchgrass. I even do some alfalfa. Frost seeding is not a new phenomenon. We were doing it back when we were kids with our pastures. I'm a farmer. That's my background, farming background. We're pasturing our dairy cows, and to establish or to maintain in the spring our pastures, we were out frost seeding pasture mixes. Small seed grass like timothy, orchard grass, clovers, alfalfas, and those mixes, we were frost seeding at that time. When is my favorite timing to frost seed? I love to get out there. What I learned driving tractor and broadcasting, running a broadcast seeder. The earlier I can get out there in the morning, the better, before it starts to thaw, especially this time of year. We're just coming off a significant snow event here yesterday, and it's going to get sloppy out there again. The weather's going to warm up, but if I got a good hard freeze the night before I go out and the ground is still frozen in the morning, that's when I want to be broadcasting my seed. Even if I'm just walking in a small kill plot or something to broadcast that seed, I don't want to be tracking mud, because mud on my boots, I feel I'm also picking up seed that needs to stay in that plot. So I like to get out there when the ground is still hard and frozen, before the heating of the day, starts to thaw that ground out. That's when I like to seed, whether I'm driving a tractor, a UTV, or walking on my plots. I want to be out there when the ground is still, while the ground is still frozen. And I understand, that a lot of you, time is limited. I got to get there when I can. I understand that, but I want to minimize the amount of ruts that I might create in my plot with a tractor or UTV. Again, if I'm walking, tracking up that seed, picking up that seed on mud that's on the bottom of my shoes, whatnot. That's just how I prefer to do it. But I want to share that with you, and maybe that technique will work for you best as well. But again, I understand that, a lot of us deal with time restraints, and we got to get out there when we can. But I feel there's still time. Here at the beginning of March, there's still a lot of time to get out there. And hey, if you miss the window of frost seeding, there's still time to get out there and overseed and let the rains. Just like when you're establishing a brassica plot, if you're broadcasting in the fall, getting out there just ahead of a rain, broadcasting your seed and letting the rain pound that seed into the soil profile. Like if I'm going in into a already established clover plot and the leaves were cleared off, but maybe, like we do get here in the upper Midwest and on normal winter, I know we haven't had one for a while, but the vegetative growth from the previous year might be matted down to the ground, and I want to at least get out there with a harrow or a hand rake, whatever, and scratch that up, thatch it, dethatch, I should say, so I can maximize the seed to soil contact as much as I possibly can. Plus, doing that will stimulate growth from the vegetation that's already there, as far as clover and alfalfa chicory go, and going into a prepared seed bed for my switchgrass the previous fall as well, if I'm going to be establishing a new switchgrass area this year, or at least ahead of the weeds. But again, I want it prepared so I can achieve the maximum seed to soil contact that I possibly can. So those are the steps and the things that I wanted to share with you that help me have a successful clover, chicory, or alfalfa plot. And for those of you that are establishing switchgrass, I hope that helps you as well. I hope this video is there to help you understand the processes that I use for my own success, and hopefully you can too. So I hope you made it to the end. If you have, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a like and a thumbs up. I know I ramble a little bit, but that's just me. That's how I am. You may not like it. So be it. I just want to share the information that works for me, and I know that it works for I know it works for my clients as well. So thank you guys for joining me. God bless you all. Good luck with your habitat projects this spring and your frost seeding if you're going to be doing it. And hey, always remember, keep living the dream. Thank you for joining me.